Daisy is my grandmother. She is an Athabascan woman born in Sugarloaf, Alaska, in a little home off the Yukon River. She grew up in a small village of Grayling. My grandma was raised by her mother and was taught the ways of how a native Athabascan woman should be. She spoke the native tongue, foraged the forests, made baskets from willow roots and birch bark trees, sewed clothing and fur, prepared and cooked traditional native foods, and created beautiful hand-beaded work in a variety of forms and sizes. She continues today to create many of these beautiful items. She has taught people our dying language and how to make Athabascan native crafts and foods. I am part Athabascan, and I was born and raised in an urban area of California. Even though I was not raised in Alaska, I've had the privilege to learn and see things from our tradition and culture because of her. Without her and many of our elders, our traditions and language would be lost forever. The traditions of our Athabascan culture will continue to live on because of her and our elders.
She grew up in the upper village in a small adobe house on the back of the Los Coyotes Indian Reservation. She spoke nothing but Kuya and rode horseback all around the mountains. When she was 11 years old, a truant officer came to the village and demanded that she go to school. After moving to the lower part of the reservation, her parents died, and she was sent to Sherman Indian Boarding School. After school, she worked various jobs in agriculture in LA County before meeting my grandpa, who was a GI officer at the time. Shortly after, they moved back to the reservation where they lived a hard life. My grandmother died at a young age due to lack of heat. My mother was only 16 when she died, and even she never got to truly know her mother. I do wish my grandma was still alive. She would have been able to pass down our language, stories, and culture to me and my family. Although I am not angry or upset that she is still not here, I know she had no real choice given the conditions and her environment. But she is still a very important part of who I am today. I'll still be able to learn many of my people's traditions and ways. It will just take more time and more effort. Elders are an important part in our community. They possess a lot of knowledge and wisdom. When an elder passes, a lot can be lost, especially if there is no opportunity for them to pass on their stories and life experiences. It's important to get to know your elders because they can teach you a lot about your culture and where you come from, which is an important part in understanding who you are as an individual, as well as passing that on to your children and grandchildren.